everybody, and welcome to the Kawaii Bookworm Plays with Yarn podcast. I'm Hannah, and I'm a Jersey girl studying at the University of Liverpool. Welcome back to any returning viewers, and hello to any new viewers. I am happy that you have decided to join me today, whatever day that is for you that you're watching this. So at the top of the episode, sorry, itchy nose. At the top of the episode, I'm just going to go over a few things. So first of all, in the description box below, you will see that there are links to my Instagram, to my Ravelry page, and to the Ravelry group page, as well as any other thing that I talk about in the episode. Or I try to. Sometimes I forget what I've talked about, but I do try to put links to yarn and patterns and such down below. And so the next thing is that I am hosting a knit-along. So the knit-along is for the Sorcery Scarf by Life is Cozy. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and you can do it in any weight of yarn you want. It's a lovely, lovely herringbone scarf with tassels and a triangle shape. And so that is running from, it started about a week ago, so last Monday, and it is running until November 1st. I think that's a good enough time for everyone to do, get at least one finished, if not more, and especially for me, because I am working on my dissertation for the next month and a half, so I might not be able to do a whole lot on knitting, so I thought that would be a good time span. There is a thread, there are two threads in the Ravelry group. There is a chatter thread where you can go and talk about whatever you want about the knit-along, and then there is a FO thread, and please put only one post per FO, and no chatter in that one, just so that when I do get around to figuring out what the giveaway prize will be and when it is time to choose the giveaway winner, I can put the numbers into a number generator, and it'll spit out a number, and it'll be fair for everyone. So that's the top of the episode. Done and dusted. The first thing I'm going to talk about is a completely finished object. Last week I did talk about how I had finished knitting it. I hadn't woven in ends or blocked it or anything, but it has been completely finished and worn, and it's my Ramona cardigan. And these are the buttons. Sorry, it's all folded up, can't really see. So those are the buttons I chose, or that I had. And I'll put it on. It's a bit warm to be wearing a sweater, but it's fine. I think the one complaint I have about it is just where it sits on my shoulders. I don't know if that's just the type of yarn that I used, or if that I did something wrong in the pattern, but it does kind of sit in a funny spot on my shoulders. But that's alright. So the yarn that I did use is the Barocco Maya yarn. It's an 85% cotton and a 15% alpaca. So it has a ton of drape, and not a whole lot of memory. So I think that's why it sits a little bit funny. But it's a good, like, summer cardigan, because I can just throw it on when it's a little bit chilly, but not so chilly where it's like, oh my gosh, I need a full-on wool sweater, but just enough where it's like, if my arms were covered, I'd be comfortable. And so this is it. And the buttons were the other set of buttons that I got at Edinburgh. I bought two sets because I couldn't decide between which ones I wanted for my I Am Groot cardigan, and I knew that I was going to be making this cardigan at some point, so I was like, whatever set I don't use for the I Am Groot, I can use for this one. And I think these dark wooden ones work beautifully, and they're from Textile Gardens. I don't know what the button itself is called, but let's see if I could get it to focus. There we go. But I did buy them at Edinburgh. And the yarn was bought at a no longer existing yarn store in New Jersey. It was bought at their closing sales. So that's that. That's finished. That is the third garment I've made this year, which is pretty big for me because I've never made any garments before. So I've made my I Am Groot cardigan, I've made the Ramona cardigan, and then I did the ranunculus shirt, sweater, pullover thing. I think it's technically a sweater. Depends on what weight of yarn you do it in. If you do it in a thick weight of yarn, it's a sweater. If you do it in a thin, it's a shirt. So that's 3 done, and my Vintersole is really close to being finished. I've not worked on it in a week though, I think. Can't remember if I worked on it. I haven't worked on it this week. Pretty sure of that. So it's almost done, but I think I might not have enough yarn, so it might be, I don't know. We'll see. It's getting there, but I've not worked on it. So that'll be number 4 for the year. I think that's pretty good for somebody who's never made garments before to do 4 in a year, or almost 4 in a year. It also makes me want to think about the next garments I want to do, and I don't really know. I want to do, I think I want to do a steeped cardigan. Yeah. I'm looking at the Damjaka Lopa, or Skandir, Ellie of Skandir Knits is releasing a pattern soon with, I don't know how to say her name, but it's these scum ring cardigan, and it's really pretty, like forest, dusk or dawn kind of cardigan, and it's gorgeous. So I think I might wait until that's released and do that. But so moving on to whips then, because that is the only finished object that I have. The next whip is Living in My Gryffindor bag from Primark. They work. They're cheap and they work. This is my Sorceress Scarf. Oh my gosh. Say that 10 times fast. And I am making it out of Fiber for the People. Sorry for the glare, but Fiber for the People's. It's her Lofty base, which is a 100% superwash merino. It's a DK weight yarn, and it's 250 yards per 100 grams. And this is the Gada Lava Moana Loa. Sorry, I think I just said Gada Love Moana Loa last time, but it's Gada Lava Moana Loa. And it's this absolutely stunning orange and red and black kind of colorway. It's amazing. And it's working up really, really well in this herringbone stitch. Oop, that's the wrong, that's the back of the, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Nope, that's the wrong side. Not paying attention, sorry. This, it's working up gorgeous in the herringbone stitch. I have actually had to restart this. I was doing it on, I think, a US 9 needles, because in the pattern it says to go up about 1 to 2 recommended needle sizes, like 1 to 2 needle sizes more than the recommended needle size. And for DK, I think it was like a US 5 or a US 6. And I decided to use US 9, and it was coming out really tight, really dense, and I felt that with the amount of yarn that I have, I needed to go with a looser stitch just to get the size that I needed. And so I moved up to a US 10. I hope that will get me where I need to be. It's much better. It's much loftier than when I was using the US 9. So it didn't take me long to restart it, and that's fine. And then the progress keeper that I'm using is a shark charm. So these are made by the boyfriend of my friend who I am making the scarf for, and they are selling them. They sell these 3D printed and painted shark charms, and they call them shorks because they're sharks with shorts. Come on. Focus. Focus. There we go. Oh, too close. There we go. But it's a shark. And it's adorable. Love him. I love it. It's got a little like screamy face. Yeah. Come on. There we go. And then it's got a little like oyster clam thing. I love it. It's actually super light. It looks massive and it is a bit long, but for a progress keeper, but because it's 3D printed plastic, it's really light, so it's really not pulling too much on my stitches and making them wonky. So I love it. The pattern itself is really easy to do. It's a little tedious because for a herringbone stitch you knit two together and then you just drop that first stitch rather than both stitches at the same time. So it does get a little tedious, but other than that, it's really easy to just kind of keep going. And I'm enjoying it. I like it. It's good kind of sit and watch TV knitting because you don't really have to pay too much attention to it, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm enjoying it. And it does say in the pattern to make your tassels first. I've not done that. I'm just going to wait until I hit the third skein, and then before I start that skein, I'll make the tassels because I want to see how far I get before I need that. So, yeah, that's how I'm doing it. I think it'll work if I do it that way. So, and I am also, the needles that I'm using are my Licca US 10 6mm. I like on the Licca because I did use these for my ranunculus, and most of the times, I'm saying a lot today, I'm sorry. The Dreams, my Knitter's Pride Dreams, they had the size printed on them, both in US terms and in millimeters, but then it's engraved just in the US terms on the bottom. And that's helpful, but also not as, I still need to grab my gauge just to double check what millimeters they are. But the Licca, they have it printed, oh my gosh, you can just barely see it, but they have the size printed in this gold here, and I think it's just printed on, but it's not come off, even though I already made a garment with it. And so I like that because it has both the US size and the millimeters, so I don't need to think about grabbing my gauge and measuring it, whereas I have to do that with my Knitter's Pride Dreams interchangeables because of that. But yeah, that's that project. And I have one more to share with you today because I've not done a ton of knitting. I've been in the lab and working on my dissertation instead, as you're supposed to. This is living in my Edinburgh project bag that I got at Edinburgh this year. And really needs to be washed. It's quite grungy at the moment. And these are my Honeycomb Socks that I am making. So, last time I was here, I did about 1 repeat, and then I put the heel in. And so I've got both heels in. I finished up the second heel this morning. It took me like 3 days to do the heels, whereas normally I can just sit down and do them. But, I don't know, I like this pattern, but I'm not enjoying it. My mojo for it is just not there. So, I don't know, it's just taking a long time to do. But the heels are in, that means I'm more than halfway through. I just need to do the cuff, or not the cuff, the leg, and then the cuff. And then I'll be done. I did try them on, and my experiment has sort of failed. But I think that's because these are 76 stitch, whereas most of the other ones that I've done are like a 64 stitch. And so the toe is still much bigger than I would like. But it's just how it is, and I will figure it out eventually. But I need to get more needles so I can experiment more as I'm working on other ones, instead of having to finish a pair and then try again. So, I'll figure it out eventually. Oh, the yarn is Wool and Vine yarns on the footsie base, which is a BFL nylon. Yes. Hold on. Yes, it's an 80/20 BFL nylon base, and it is in her Edinburgh colorway. Lots of Edinburgh today. But it's gorgeous. It is working out beautifully. I do really like the stitch. I'm just not loving it at the moment, and I don't know why. So, yeah. But I've got heels now, so it's getting there. They look funny when they're laying down. Anyways, that is that. I've got no more projects, no additions to the hoard, because I am a college student, or a uni student, depending on what side of the pond you're in. And just, yeah, no additions to the hoard, no more finished objects, and not a lot of work on other webs. So, guess it's talk story time now. Again, been working on my dissertation. That is pretty much my life right now. I've just been in dissertation mode for months. It is crunch time now, though. I do have, I think, like 5 weeks until it's due, maybe 6 weeks. And it's a 13,000 word, and I've got 2,000 words. And need to get moving on that. But it's okay. I'll get there. I'll get finished. And I will at least pass. So today is like the first, actually, I think yesterday was the first sunny day in a while. But I was in work from like 10 to 6. So I didn't see any of that sun. All I saw was the inside of the Disney store. But today it was quite sunny, and so I had a lie-in that I really, really needed. I haven't had a lie-in in a while, so I slept in, then had a lazy morning watching YouTube, and then I decided to have a picnic in the park before I filmed this video, just to enjoy some of the sun and get out of the flat and get outside for a bit. I am missing that. I posted on Instagram a couple of days ago a picture from Isle of Wight, because I am just missing that sunny island and just being out in nature like pretty much all day. So yeah. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. There is really not a whole lot going on in my life other than dissertation, and that's pretty much how it's going to be for the next couple of weeks. Also, speaking of the next couple of weeks, I don't plan on not filming, but just in case my weeks end up really packed and I don't get any knitting done, or I'm too stressed from the dissertation, I do want to let you know that I might go MIA for a bit. And don't worry, I'll be back if that does happen, but just be aware that if I don't upload, it's probably because I am dissertation focused. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you have a good week, and happy knitting.